Hello there, Zero Ravens here with a quick advert here. If you wish to support me further to help me get through contents and eventually get to making more and better stuff, a little bit will go a long ways. You can support me through buymeacoffee.com/ZeroRavenX. And if not, that's okay. You're watching, subscribing, commenting down below, give it a like or whatnot. It means a lot to me, and I do hope you'll have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching this advert. Now, I do hope y'all enjoy this content. Now, on to the video. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your Ravens here. Just to make a quick video, a lot of stuff that I've been getting with about palisades and whatnot. Bottom line, your character needs to have either made or discovered any of the materials needed for a palisade. And for palisades, if you are doing everything on your own, you will need to construct a rope twining station, and then here in processing materials, you make your rope, and then you must discover the rope. So you have to make the rope yourself or have somebody teach it to you. Now, next, we got a bone glue. And of course, take 10 bones at any boiling cauldron and make you a bone glue. And that will be another part of the puzzle for you to unlock your palisades. The next requirement is leather, which of course at the tanning tub. You make leather, prepare the hides on a drying rack until they're done, stick them in a tanning tub with, just fill it up with water and throw a couple, like at least 4 pieces of bark, tree bark, into the tanning tub, and give it a couple, about 10 to 16 hours or so, and you'll have your leather. Buildings. So, rope, bone glue, leather, and wood blocks, which is super easy. But your character will also need the yeomanry. And of course, you'll need yeomanry anyways if you'll wish to stake your claim in the world to make your own stuff. Yeomanry is kind of the only skill if you have friends or other people, and you don't have the LP, or you're not going to give for say lumberjacking for the logs, or rope twining for the rope. Then the other way that you can, if you're in a group, let's see. One thing you can do is you can pick up the item and right click it on, and they will hit teach. And while they're waiting for a response, they'll have this window. They will attempt to describe the item, which is basically learning. And if you have learned it already, you'll see everything was old news, or you've heard about it before. You will see little fire and sticks coming up, when you discover something. And yeah, one thing you can do while we're specifically talking about palisades, let's see, my leather bag. This one's. Obviously, you will want to make and construct a visitor gates with your palisades, but another added effect with the palisades is if you do not seal them, which will prevent any expansion or sealing is the old way of protecting your palisades. Only people with permissions can do that now. Can build or even touch your palisades outside of destroying them. Now, one cool thing you can do is you can hit prepare gate, and you set it down and you'll have a whole new wall to build. You can stretch it out. Two, three. You can build this corner post, and then you can start building another one closer to it. While when you start the build, you can destroy this, you know, the excess, you know, corner post, and you can effectively build multiple layers of palisades without having, you know, needing all the materials again. So, and that's one way to do it. A lot of people, they prefer to build a round pole fence with the gate and leave their visitor's gate open while putting a lock on it. It's just so, you know, nobody can really put a lock on it and kind of mess you over. However, I don't think this is possible, since you need, you know, putting a locks on it would be needing permissions. And yeah, that's about it. Just short, quick, and simple palisades. Make sure you have your rope, your leather, and your bone glue discovered, along with the yeomanry skill. And you should be able to build your own, start building your own palisades. Yeah. So, well, as far as the many questions about palisades I see both in game and in YouTube, and thank you again. But yeah, it's fairly simple. You know, you start your build and you get it going with extend, just like a regular fence. One thing to do, keep in mind, is you really want to keep your palisades on claimed land. So that way nobody can mess with your palisade. Now, if you stick down a claim, you just barely stick it down and then you start building a palisade, that palisade will not be protected until your dry claim is dried. Then your palisade will be free game for any malicious person to mess with, whether it's sealing it off or you know, or even putting their own locks on the gates because it is not protected. Another thing is that palisades, just like claims, they take about 24 hours to dry. So that means their soak, or their health, it slowly goes up and scales upward. So if you make a mistake, like you build a corner post where it shouldn't be, or you misplace, you know, miscalculate, you accidentally put your gate somewhere where you don't want it, you can easily bash it down. It's always good to have an alt to assist you with that, to make the destruction a lot more simpler, or quicker. And yeah, that's just pretty much it about it. You know, make sure you build visitor gates so you don't have to worry about keys or somebody messing you up getting in through a open palisade door, because if you're with people, they're bound to neglect the very importance of shutting your door or your gates, so people don't just come in and ransack your place free of charge. No, just make sure you build visitor gates and you should be fine. Just do understand that if you are in combat, you cannot come in through a visitor's gate, but you know, you can always build an airlock with a normal gate. And you know, but that was blah 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 blah. So you can build you an airlock if you wish. with using normal gates. Another thing, when you are building, if you're never too sure about building your palisades, you can always build them in a compartmentalized way, unless you have a group of people helping you building, and you don't have to worry about expanding their claim to cover everything while trying to do all the work. You can start with a small square and make sure you put gates on certain sections so you always have a way through. So, and this way will allow you to expand however you wish. So like right here, I started with this small square. I spent enough LP to get this bigger square, so I expanded out, and now I have all of this wonderful workspace. And of course I expanded again and again, and then I expanded out to this side, so I have this massive place for my killings, little workstations, and different things. Even if you are just one person or a hermit working, it's always nice to have a breathing room and a workspace. So just as you're going, do also note that you cannot build palisades within 6 tiles of any water source. So if you plan on building by the rivers or lakes or the ocean, just keep that in mind. Bare minimum 6 away, and palisades do need to be built on, if you're not on grassland, it will need to be paved in order for you to put down the your palisades. So it's just more things to keep in mind on your building locations. Just make sure you find a spot you like, and just plan appropriately so you don't wind up losing a lot of very valuable materials at the start of at your start of the game, and you should be a-okay. I'm trying to think of something else here. People can bash down your palisades before they have fully dried. So if you have just expanded and somebody sees you doing that, there's a chance that they could bring out with a very high strength to come and start demolishing your palisade before it finishes. So just keep an eye out for that. And another thing is, if your palisade is fully dried on claimed land, the only thing that can knock it down is siege machines, and you'll have a little pop-up saying a siege machine has been activated nearby. One thing you can do is, if you go out and you see like there's nobody around the siege engine, you can quickly hop out and just destroy the siege engine. But chances are the people will either be using alts to keep an eye on it, or bots, whatever you say. So the only other thing that you can do, and this is a defense anybody can do, crafter or not, is to build one of these beautiful archery towers. Now, as you can see, they have a range of 180. And what these bad boys will do, they're very cheap to make. You can have the materials ready nearby. Real easy to get. And what these will do is that they will slowly automatically attack anything like wrecking balls, rams, catapults. You can only have like a one in an area. I believe you can only have one right here. Then you can have another archer tower over there, or it requires some distance. So this is another thing to keep in mind as you're building your base, is also having your base defenses. They do take some time to work, so as soon as you see those siege engines, make sure you build those archer towers as soon as possible. And this can be done by anybody. So if you're a crafter, or if you don't have alts, you just want to try to survive the attack, you can just quickly build one of these cheap archery towers versus, look at this horrible wrecking ball. Hardened leather, bone glue, bunch of rope, and some cheap materials. But like that hardened leather, the rams take a lot more leather, but they also take more damage. But that's why you gotta have be on top of your game. Have archery materials around just for archery towers. If you have noticed a lot of vandalism in the area, assaults, you know, things like that. If you don't feel safe in the area, make sure you have at least the materials ready to help defend your own base. But yeah, this has been Zero Ravens yapping about palisades. If this helps you at all, do let me know down below, and subscribe for more if you wish. And I'll catch y'all in the next. Thank y'all for watching, and have a wonderful day.